Hey there, welcome back to Pod and Deliver. This week's film we're reviewing, it's called Ron Clark, and this film, the Ron Clark story, came out in 2006. It was directed by a woman by the name of Rhonda Haines, and it stars Matthew Perry of Friends fame and Ernie Hudson of Ghostbuster fame, right, as the principal, and of course Matthew Perry as Ron Clark. Ruben, I had never heard of this film until recently. I was talking to someone. They said, "Hey, why don't you watch this movie?" And I said, "Oh yeah, of course. I'll take a look at it." And so I talked to you about it, and I didn't know it was Emmy nominated, and he got a nomination for this. I'm not sure if he won or not, but it's over 15 years ago. But this story takes place. It actually starts out in the early 90s, and you see this teacher who's pretty green, a young teacher who teaches in North Carolina, and then he moves to New York and teaches in inner city, right there in New York City, in Harlem, and he teaches fifth grade. And so you see him knowing that, hey, this is a different place, Harlem, than North Carolina students. But he still is so positive. That's one thing I liked about this, and it's based on a true story, right? That this is a man who looks like he's fish out of water in Harlem, right? All the students are you have different nationalities there, right? You have African American, you have people from the Middle East and so India. And so you see him trying to say, wait a minute, this is how I did it in North Carolina, and these strategies. And so what I liked about this film, even different than the other films, is that you saw different strategies and how to reach students. And he wasn't reaching them at first. Like we see in a lot of these films, right? They don't reach the kids at first. But as it goes on, the film goes on, you see that he reaches them. And one of the things that they do, the film I really liked, is that he went to the home, and that's a great strategy, right? Meeting the parents, and then also getting support by the administration, and having just always positivity, and then start being interested in what the kids are interested in. And so the young people in the film are really good low actors. I enjoyed watching them and seeing them interact with him, and just seeing him grow as a teacher, because he at one point he says, you know what, you're learning from me, but I'm also learning from you. Isn't that true? As teachers, we are always learning from our kids, our students. And he has this famous thing called the 55 rules. He actually has a book with that title by Ron Clark, 55 rules. And they're rules at first, I think in the film they show that they're really like, typical rules, like no talking, so forth like that. But then as time goes on, there are rules that will help you in life. And so he teaches that, not life lessons as well, besides the lessons you learn that you need to learn to pass tests. And that's one of the things in the film, is that he's trying to have the students pass a test by the end of the year. And then you see them having these kids come from tough situations. And so for them to get to the point where they're able to study, because sometimes these kids at home life makes it very difficult to study, and the film goes into that. But Ruben, I really enjoyed it. How do you feel about it?
Well, well, first of all, I should take this book down. This is not an
Oh,
endorsement of Hoover. This is just a acknowledgement that I will reread it
very good.
from the last guest we talked to.
That's
Check out
nice.
that video with Vanessa Fered. But I will, before I forget, I didn't see the classroom that Ron Clark taught in as mixed as you did. I saw it as predominantly African American,
The second one, right?
with
Yeah.
maybe one or two exceptions. So it is. It's African American classroom. And so um, the the template I think of this film is, it's kind of like Stand and Deliver in a way, because they're after a test to
Mhm.
pass. However, there's a lot of different. There's a lot of differences, and this movie started off rough for me. I
Mhm.
wasn't really
Same here.
enjoying it in the beginning, and but it slowly grew. It slowly earned its place in its depiction of a teacher that really tries hard. The performance by Matthew Perry is strong, and as a you believe him, like he's a real guy trying to teach. You don't feel as if it's just a guy taking a casting call and reading his lines. You feel for him. And before I get into why I liked it, because I will recommend it too, like
Okay.
you, but I will say a couple of things that, not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of the evil admin. Not that Ernie Hudson was evil, but he was, always questioning things, never seeing what Matthew Perry or Ron Clark is doing. Not a fan of that. I didn't much like, as I said at the beginning, I don't know why he was interested in working with this tough group of students. Like for example, Ernie Hudson character says,
Mm,
work with the better students.
yeah.
No, I want to work with these kids. Now that's real. Some of us have been there where we want to work with the more challenging group, but why? And I don't think it answered that. So I was a little unsatisfied with that. But he, in the beginning, he wasn't applying very strong strategies. He was just talking too much. And you're talking about fifth graders. You can't do that, right? And slowly he begins to employ these rap songs
Hmm.
on the presidents. And it was very self deprecating. Anytime you can do that, that's just a good strategy. They makes them laugh, your expense, but they're learning.
Yeah.
He zeroes in on the struggling students. There's this idea of No Child Left Behind, that whole system. But
Yeah.
if you really do think of No Child Left Behind, like in terms of how to handle your students, it's a good strategy. Don't forget about these students who are struggling.
Mm.
It feels like he was really honing in on that and didn't let anybody by. And even if he had to spend time in their homes, I don't recommend that. He was
Yeah.
spending time with this girl. Do want to mention this actress because she was great. Hannah Hodson, who played Shamika. Um, Her performance was really good. I felt like this girl was older than her years,
Hmm.
older than a fifth grader. Like that is a reality. Sometimes you meet these students who are young, but they've seen a lot of life. Like I sense that it was a good performance. So his, the lighting of the birthday cake, where
Oh yeah.
each candle represents students, very much a buying in.
Hmm.
The symbolic strategies of having students buy into the movement, because you're right, they were so disadvantaged. How do they take a test when they don't even believe in school, when they don't believe in authority? Baby steps. And I think it was pretty successful overall.
Yeah.
Not a ringing endorsement, I guess, but
Right.
overall, I liked it. I would say you learn a lot on how to be a strong teacher, and it's entertaining.
Yeah, I'm glad you share those points regarding how we entertain them, because we are part-time entertainers. I'm sorry if you don't like that. I mean, you have to. You have to get the attention. I think there's another video I saw of his, Ruben, that dealt with. He said, "Hey, you know what? Um, we have to compete with the iPhones and all this stuff. So we have to entertain. Even like you shared, when he did that little rap, it didn't make him feel good about himself because he had to go out there self-deprecating, right? But he said, you know what? That's what the kids love, and
Well,
he did it.
I wouldn't phrase it the way you did. It didn't make him feel good about himself. I think he's having
Well,
fun.
yeah, he's
He's
having
an
fun, but it's
he's
not
an
lifting him
adult.
up. Yeah,
He's an
that's what I meant.
adult, and he could poke fun at himself. It's not going to hurt
Right.
his feelings.
And it's better than poking fun at the kids for sure. But I did want to share with you before I forget a couple of his 55 rules. One of them is, be positive, enjoy life. Another one, number 49, stand up for what you believe. 45, I'm sorry, another one says, never cut in line. And so just things that, of course, you need in the classroom, but also in life as well, right? And then finally, his last one was, be the best person you can be, which is great. And so I think his positivity, and you saw it shining through in the film. And then afterwards, I was so curious of this guy. He started his own school after working in New York, and that school it's very successful. It's like a charter school, right? And so, or a private school. It might be. I think they have to pay, but it's pay what you can, like where you're at financially. So yeah, Ruben, with you, I give my my endorsement on this one. And so with that, we want to thank you all for being with us this evening, and we hope to see you soon on Pod and Deliver. Bye bye.